Let's see if this works. All right, we are live. It looks like. Brand, are we live? Can you see us?
Let me look. It sounds live where you are.
All right, yeah, it is live where I am. They're getting the table set up. Huh? I'm live, yes, sir. We're getting the table set up. They're getting the mats pulled in. Another pretty cool thing is we are live, so you just got to share with your stuff. Another pretty cool thing is they're setting up the middle school. Hold on one second. You're setting up these middle school things that are. Oof, oof. This is what a middle schooler is going to win, which is going to be absolutely incredible. And that's one of the coaches there. Say hi, Florida. Live there. This, and you're going to have your picture on it, your name on it. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But I mean, look how big this thing is. I'm a big fat dude. I mean, I must be 2.5 bills. And this thing is as big as big. That's pretty cool. I'm here at the arena where they knocked out the Southern Bell. The middle school championships are going to take place. So I figured I'd come down while they were setting up, and we do it live from here so we can see it. Tonight from the house, I'll have SE Wrestle, and we'll talk about athletes that are involved in it. But in the meantime, what's up, everybody in Florida wrestling? I'm here with Brant Parsons again. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm excited. You're getting me excited for next week already. I'm like my daughter the other night we're going to the store. She goes, "What holiday comes after Christmas?" I'm like, "Can we just get through Christmas first before we start planning the next one?" But yeah, I'm excited to. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, to me it is. It's my favorite part of the season. So it's cool that you get to show everybody what it looks like before it fills in. I was telling you before we started recording, it always is when I see it empty, it's always at the end of the state tournament, and there's always just kind of a melancholy feel to it because everything's done and you're exhausted and been running around for 2.5 days covering everything. But it's kind of neat to see it before the excitement and see it prepped up.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You can see how big it is. There's entries of both sides. There's stands. I mean, it's going to be incredible. And everybody saw the show with Miss Haas last week where she discussed just everything that's going on. So it's going to be great. What's up, Mr. Solario? Thanks for watching us. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye through my phone at some comments if they come over. So if you come over through the World Wrestling Live group, I guess, or I don't know, the Florida Orlando Sentinel group, I'll try to keep an eye on it. But man, this week, obviously, going into this week, we knew it was going to be some tough action, but we got some tournaments off in Florida, right? I know there was, unfortunately, some of our top teams like Palm Harbor, Countryside, Lake Gibson, a lot of the Polk County teams. I talked to my buddy Anthony over there at Tenorock, and just a lot going on in Polk County.
Yeah.
In Ellis County. So we're really sad that we're not going to have them here for this tournament. As a matter of fact, I think I love Palm Harbor and all those guys, but I was at Lake Gibson the other day and they gave me this cool shirt. Lake Gibson, so a day to you. I wish you would be here. I think did they win it last year?
And you're testing my memory on things, and I'm never good with retention for a year past.
Obviously, to not see Matthew Avermitis and his team, to not see Mark Prince, to not see a lot of the Gulf Coast kids, it's going to be a shame. Now, I wish those counties would make exceptions. I have tried to reach out because I've seen counties and associations around the country that have made exceptions to teams that are doing the right things and that we're already committed somewhere and paid the bill, right? But they're playing the defense as if I let one person, I got to let it all. But
and Lake Gibson did win. You were right. You have a better memory than I did. They outscored Woodland, Cartersville, Georgia, and Tampa Jesuit at 3.
Awesome. So yeah, they'll be missed, but not just Lake Gibson. Everybody that that can't enjoy this, especially the seniors. I just think it's fucked up. But that being said, let's go on to this week in Florida. We did have some really good tournaments going on. We had the Best of the West. We had the Amanda St. John's, Union County. Now we had some teams go up to Georgia, right?
Yeah, I mean some of the ones that we have Corey Hill, which I know was probably hit a little bit with some wrestlers not being at my first tournament I ever covered, the Bill Scott at Lyman. Thanks to a delayed college football season that still had a lot of teams playing, I was not able to get out there for my other part of my job. But you had Somerset there with Camden County and some big names there. You saw some Lake Gibson kids join Lake Highland kids and a few other Florida wrestlers up in Georgia for a club event up there, which we saw a couple kids from Florida win. And, some top national guys showed up there. But
yeah, we got the Tyrant Armageddon, right?
Yeah, Tyrant Armageddon. I knew I was going to forget the name of it, even written out in front of me. But that ended up having some pretty good competition there. It was good to see Lake Highland get out there and wrestle because they hadn't yet. And I wanted to see how their guys looked. And I was able to watch parts of that because it was on track. Which I believe the Knockout and Southern Belle and Middle School Championship will all be on track. So I'll be able to watch that the first day because I will not be in town for that, but I'll be out there the second day.
We'll go live. We'll go live the second day, right?
Yeah, we'll see how. I need to see what the schedule looks like. I don't want to miss any wrestling, but yeah, we'll figure that out.
The good thing is, look, they have me set up right here. I have my back to the event right now, but my front will be to the event. So I'm actually right where Media Row usually is. So I've got a good view. I got a good vision. And yeah, I don't want to miss much either. So I'll try to do some interviews in between and I'll try to get out and catch some good photos for these kids and stuff. Probably the same thing you always try to do, right?
Yeah. And I also, not to forget, Clay went up to Georgia to Valdosta and got a big win there. So there was still some wrestling this weekend. Not like we want to see each weekend, but that's the reality of 2020, and we need to celebrate the wrestling that does happen and hope that other teams are able to get back out there. I don't know the school name, but I was told this morning from Shannon that a Georgia team had shut down for the season, and they will not be wrestling until the postseason. That hasn't happened to anybody here in Florida yet, so that's good. And hopefully, even though we're going to miss some of them at the Knockout, hopefully come the start of the new year, they'll be back out and competing.
Right? Yeah,
we have state duels coming up after January 1st. And a lot of districts have not competed them yet.
Yeah, and speaking of the duels, before I ask you about some of these teams and some of these results and what we saw around the state, where are we at? What happened this week as far as the duels? What's been the next step? I know, is today the 23rd?
Tomorrow's the 23rd, so that's the big 1A13, Jensen Beach, American Heritage, Delray Beach. American Heritage Delray Beach. Follow them on Facebook because they will live stream it, and that's how I watched it last year. That is probably one of the more interesting duels taking place. I know Lincoln won their 4th straight duel title this past week to up in 2A2. Most of them, though, do take place after the start of the new year. I don't think we have too many more before that, as most competition shuts down other than the Knockout.
Nice. So so the big one this week happens tomorrow. So we don't have any really progression from last week on the dual series.
Well, just Lincoln winning was one of them. Them getting their 4th straight district title. And then there's 1A1, and I don't have those results in front of me, but I can get those real quick.
No worries. I was trying to do some research, and maybe secretly you might know. I didn't really see that we have any wrestling really taking place until the Knockout.
Yeah, there's nothing to other than 1A13 tomorrow, and then everybody celebrates Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, which is great for us soccer fans, and then they get back out. Let's see, we had 1A2 competed. Well, it was a semifinal. I need to figure out everything that's going on with that. It does look like South Walton was the top of the standings in 1A1, but I don't know if they have a secondary date also because they did not wrestle everybody. And Rocky Bayo Christian was listed to Arnold 3, but that's all. I need to confirm that those are finals. But yeah, state duels really picks up after the new year. Even starting like on January 2nd, you'll see some of those districts take place.
Cool. So, let's we'll start with one of your favorites here, Bill Scott Memorial. I haven't had a chance to kind of dig deep into the meat and potatoes of the tournament, but I have the finals results here, and it looks like we had there were some really good matchups here.
You had really probably the match of the weekend, and you had Dylan Cohn of the Masters Academy beating 4-time state champion Jonathan Conrad. I believe he's a 4-time state champ, at least a 3-time state champ. Jonathan Conrad of Kerwood Day School, 3-0 in that one. That I think is really the result from the weekend. I already have a wrestling team, wrestlers of the week team. If I was to pick a number one guy, it'd be tough to go past that. That's a huge win for Cone to get that one at 170 at Bill Scott.
There was a lot of good ones. You had 2 number ones with Herndon and Diaz that happened. I don't know how I know who won, right?
Well, that's actually a typo. He's number 3. There's a 1 versus 3. Bastia's making his season debut with a win over 3rd-ranked James Clark Herndon of Cocoa Beach. Pin in a minute in that one. So Diaz is obviously ready to go, and it was great seeing him get out there and wrestle. And
then how about the I know your match of the day was Cone and Conrad, but I wasn't there, obviously. Our team couldn't be there with what was going on, but that 285 matchup with Jimenez and Mundi going to double overtime.
Jimenez has had a really strong start to the year, and gets a pin in past sudden victory, and gets a win in tiebreaker 2 by fall, and wins that one. And he's really come on this year and looks good. And over Desmond Mamudi, who's ranked 6 coming into that one, who of course transferred over to Kerwood Day School as part of a football thing also, and he's just a beast there at 285, big guy. And somebody I would have loved to watch that one.
Somebody that I watched all off season and is really making a run up the ladder is Christian Fretwell at Somerset. Man, that kid, he looks good. I've gotten to see him all off season. He continues to do big things, and I'm happy for him and his family. Nice kid.
Yeah, gets a solid win there at 106, and he's in a top 1A. 106 is always a tough weight class, and there's certainly a lot of talent in 1A 106 this year, just as there is every year.
Yeah. So what do we have? We got the Bradenton battle. Looks like. So was it a team? I saw where we had team scores.
They did duels on day 1 and then came back for an IBT on day 2. In the duels, you had Braden River doing well and winning it. Lakewood Ranch coming in second. First Baptist Naples comes in third. That's a new program, at least a new FHSAA program. In fact, I wasn't even aware they had moved up to FHSAA until the season began, but they had a really good duels day. Braden River then wins the IBT on Saturday. Lakewood Ranch Bayshore in there. But a lot of quality wrestling down there. You had 15 teams and some ranked guys and a chance for them to really get a lot of matches in. Some guys had up to 8 matches this weekend wrestling there.
Yeah, it looks like a big one again, that 106 weight class.
Yeah, Diego Santos of Berkeley Prep beats Cedric Rentz by fall. And had and there I am. I'm talking about 1A 106. You have Santos, who was a state qualifier last year and goes out there. Did not wrestle the first day, came back the second day and won 106. But just one of those many in that weight class that are tough to deal with.
I'm live. You can sing to us.
You can sing.
Yeah.
Can we make requests?
Can we make requests for the songs? That'd be awesome. Yeah, so that was a good one. You had some, it's nice. I keep looking at a lot of these tournaments, and we're seeing high school teams from other states come down and compete and get wrestling in. It's nice to see that.
Yeah, I mean it hasn't been as much as years past, it seems, early on, but it was good to see Camden County come in and wrestle. That's, I mean, it's just another, uh, you get used to wrestling the same kids. It's nice to get top kids from another state to just kind of get some different looks and different feels out there. So that was cool. I think we should talk also. I don't want to skip over Corey Hill and just the performance by Palm Bay this weekend. They're my 1A. I think they were my number one out of the blocks, out of the three toss ups in 1A. They went over there, had 5 champs, 7 finalists, some really good work out there. It was tough to pick a Palm Bay kid for Wrestler of the Week. I did pick one, but you had Braden Baxter, Ronald Thylacker, you had Jack Dinberg, you had Ozkin Aiden, who's just looking really good at 220, Carlos Gerardino, he gets the win at 285. So 5 guys for Palm Bay getting titles, and they go out there and win another team title so far this year, the winning the Corey Hill, which
Oh
is
yeah,
always a
and
great
I've
tournament.
heard really good things about the tournament. I haven't had an opportunity to be there. I definitely want to go check it out and see some good wrestling. But yeah, it looked like it was a good show. And unfortunately, they did lose some teams due to the
Yes.
Pinella County thing. So unfortunately, you didn't have Palm Harbor there, which I think or or Mark Prince's team, right?
Yeah, no countryside. I mean, I still think Palm Bay wins that one, but yeah, you don't have, maybe it doesn't go as deep and as it would in years past, but there's still, I'm just looking at the results and at least by my rankings, which are not necessarily something to go by, but all but maybe 4 or 5 weight classes had 2 ranked guys in the finals and some really
Oh, that's
top
awesome.
5 guys across the board. So
Yeah, it
you
seems
had some
like
good talent there.
Palm Bay's doing big things this year, so good for them. And uh, I'm interested to see where it ends up. You know, God willing, we can get through it. I know there was a little 6-way celebration over there in
Yes.
celebration. I guess if you're going to do a 6-way celebration, I mean, the teams that they brought in were great. I mean, Southwest, Riverdale, FPC themselves, Seminole, and Gateway. So
If I'm not
definitely,
mistaken, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, I believe it was Riverdale had an event canceled on them. They contacted Celebration, said, "Hey, can you host this?" And they said, "Sure." Or like I said, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn by saying I think it was Riverdale. Then they got Southwest Miami to come up. Then you get Flagler, Palm Coast in there, and then you also had Celebration, Gateway, and Seminole. But you end up having a pretty good 6-way that was thrown together really on the fly. In fact, I got a call from Celebration as the event at Harmony ended up having to be canceled because of different things, making sure that people knew it was still happening, and end up being a really good tournament. Southwest Miami really gets a chance to flex their muscles and gets a big win at that tournament, and gets to see Riverdale, which is another top 3A team. And it just shows that the resiliency in this sport to an event that did not exist, maybe didn't even exist last week when we did our show, ends up getting pulled off, and you end up getting 2 of the top teams in 3A wrestling in it, or including Flagger. I guess it's 3 of the top teams in 3A getting a chance to wrestle in a duels tournament. It's pretty cool to see.
that's pretty, one. I mean, here we are again. Scott Simpson at South Walton. We're talking about. There's another 106 matchup with Valerie Soloria versus Jay Brown. Another 2 106 folks. Now, man, that seemed like it played out pretty well. 4 minutes and 34 seconds.
Yeah, Valerie had a big weekend. She was undefeated at the district duels the day before, and then comes out on Saturday. A sneak peek: she is my 106 for Wrestler of the Week, for going undefeated over the 2 days, both in the like I said, the district duels, then winning the Scott Simpson. And her father sent me video. I was able to see she is quick. She's fun to watch wrestle, and certainly deserving of it.
So, are we going to have another girl sneak up into those boy rankings?
Oh yeah, she's ranked now. Now I will say though, rankings will not be coming out this week. I will have them come out. I'm hoping a New Year's present, get them updated after the knockout. But due to the truncated week, I'm actually going to take a couple days off to spend the holidays with my family. You have UCF playing a bowl game tonight. You had bowl selection Sunday. I could not healthily get the rankings updated. So when the rankings do come out again, which will be before New Year's Day, is the plan. She will be ranked in 106.
What do you think about UCF's chances bowl game tonight?
I mean, I'm excited if there's a bowl game that's not part of the playoff to watch and be excited about. I think UCF BYU fits the bill. You're going to have both teams wanting to play well. You're going to have a lot of offense. It's my alma mater, so I got to go with UCF, but BYU is one of the top teams out there. Maybe Cougars might be a little bit better on defense, but I think Dylan Gabriel matches up with their quarterback Wilson just as much as anybody in the country. So it's going to be fun to watch.
A good time of the year for you, right? Because Central Florida gets some really good games coming up here, right? I mean, I saw.
Yeah, we actually
Miami,
ended up with
Oklahoma State.
Miami, Oklahoma State in the Cheez-It Bowl, formerly the Camping World Bowl, formerly the it was Blockbuster Bowl when it first started down in Miami. We also Coastal Carolina comes to town. They're playing on Saturday against Liberty. I just got a note this morning that got moved to prime time on Boxing Day. It was originally a noon kick. Now it's a 7:30 kick. And then we get Auburn and Northwestern on New Year's Day for the Citrus Bowl. Maybe not the best matchup, and I say that with one of my best friends being an Auburn grad, but Northwestern's a pretty good football team, and we do get to see them. But yeah, 3 bowl games in 5 days or something like that in Orlando, so it's a crazy time for us.
I think Ohio State obviously has a hell of a running back, right? But I think Northwestern played the better game, but they didn't have a 380-pound, 380 running back.
I mean, if I can talk about the Ohio State University, which you can see the blanket behind me, that was I missed part of the game. My daughter was having a performance in her musical theater, and I was following the score on my phone whenever I could sneak a peek. But yeah, kudos to Ohio State for making adjustments. But Northwestern, one of the top run defenses in the country before that game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And for everybody listening, OH.
Did they make the top 4?
Yeah, they're number 3. They get to play Clemson, whose head coach voted them number 11 in the coaches poll. So that should be a nice time. Oh, look at the mats are coming out.
Yeah, here come the mats. They're getting laid down. That should be a good one. So, listen, we had some good stuff. We had the Tyrant Armageddon went on, and we had some. I don't know, was there other Florida kids? I saw the LHPCFWA kids. I saw the Braves Wrestling Club kids.
There were some Fort Pierce Central kids that made up. I don't have the full list of names in front of me, but they, I saw a couple of their kids went up there and tried it out, and certainly there were probably a handful of others on the list. It was a club event, makes it a little harder to search. I did go through weight classes though and see who I could recognize, and so Fort Pierce Central sent some kids up.
A lot of Florida kids. It looked like 152 was the toughest bracket up. I mean, you had Lay versus Abden in the very first round. It looked like
second round. They first round, I think they both wrestled. The second round of it, yeah, and it was a really good match. I watched it, and you had Brendan getting back points and the first period of that one, and Lay just kept getting takedowns, ends up winning it 10-8, but just a really hard battle in that one, and fun to watch. 2 really great Florida. I mean, you wish it was later in the tournament. Yeah. Brendan came back, and I believe placed 5th, if my memory serves me correct. 7th. But just
won it.
Yeah, he ended up winning it in the weekend, but just it's good to see top Florida wrestlers meet up, even if it's in Georgia. But they definitely put on a show, and that was probably one of the better first or second round matchups that tournament had.
Yeah, and then of course Lay went on to win that bracket. Danny Nini went on to win his bracket.
An all Lake Highland Prep final, or an all CFWA final in that one.
Yeah, and the Nini, it was Nini and Ethan, right? Or
yeah.
Eli.
One of the Riveras.
Well, both the Riveras took second place. You had in third place in Florida, I saw Joe Gonzalez, and I saw Middlebrook, Tristan.
Yeah.
Third place there. I saw.
And there's Gonzalez. He's a Winter Park wrestler. So, I mean, there's some stray kids that just went up there from different schools too. So it was cool that they all got a chance to go up there and compete.
Yeah, you saw Williams took fifth, Hughes sixth, Griffin sixth, Consoles, I hope I didn't mess that up, sixth, Diamani Almodovar sixth, and then you had Abden seventh, Zach Lewis seventh, Boykin eighth. Those are the ones that I saw placed. There were many Florida kids up there from both areas, but
Yeah, you had, in fact, in that one where you had the Lake Highland 5 and 6, you had Riley Orr placed 8th there, and that's one of the Fort Pierce Central kids that was up there.
Riley Orr. So I apologize, Riley Orr. I didn't notice that. My bad. So yeah, we got
it's tough in those events where you have hundreds of clubs, and it's tough to search everybody out. But,
and I'm looking for names. I'm looking for names I recognize as like schools or whatever. So I'm sure I went past it, but it looked
Stephen
like
Krantz. Stephen Krantz was up there from Fort Pierce Central. He placed 6th at 95. So the 2 guys out of Fort Pierce Central go up there, and they're building something special at that school, and it was good to see them get up there and compete on that more national level and have success.
And they play. So the Valdosta, Georgia Invitational. You had mentioned that Clay
Yes.
went up there and won the thing.
They won it. They had 2 champs. Any other week, Cale Hoskinson is probably on my wrestler of the week for winning that, but that's a cone this week. And also Garrett Tyree went up there, and Tyree went up there and won 220. They had 3 other finalists. Really good performance for the team, top to bottom, to win that one. Colquitt County of Georgia, a really solid South Georgia team. They came in 2nd. You had Holy Cross from Louisiana 3rd. So some good competition up there for Clay, and they bring home a title to Florida.
Pretty cool. And you had the Wakulla Union County duels or whatever. Is that Wakulla or?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, again, it's guys getting out there, getting a chance to wrestle. Wakulla kind of a level ahead of everybody there. But they get a chance to go out there and get matches in, and they go 4-0 and take that one.
You had great 9 or 10 teams up at the Villages this week, so we got to see some wrestling up at the Villages. A lot of ranked guys were up there.
Yeah,
doing
guys. Again, you get to see different looks. You had, probably the highest ranked guy that I had up there, I believe, was Keyshawn Campbell, Vero Beach at 95. He won, but you had a handful of Villages kids. You have Lecanto, you have Bellevue. So a little bit of ranked guys from all over, and they get a chance to go out there and compete. It was a round robin, and so they get lots of matches, and nice way to get ready for your holiday. Yeah, always like that tournament. It was a little small this year, as everyone is, but that always seems to just get some good matches over there.
And then it looked like you had a great duel over at Fort Myers, right? The best of the West, Cape Coral, Mariner, Island Coast, Ida Baker, North Fort Myers.
Yeah, I don't have detailed results on that. I only have what you have, which is that. I don't have any box scores. There was a note that the 1 and 3 teams moved on to district duels. I think there'll be like a finalist because that's not the entire district there. Mariner they finished 2nd. They're not moving on they've chosen not to. But that did also have the best of the West, as they call it, does have some district duel interest in it also.
So I got it. I mean that's kind of our week in wrestling that happened here in Florida. We do have wrestling happening, but we have had a few setbacks, right, with some of the counties kind of doing some things. What's your opinion moving forward? Are we going to be able to prevent a disaster? Are we going to be able to keep these counties from continuing to affect our season?
I mean, really for everything, this is kind of an important couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens with numbers and cases coming out of the holidays, because you're seeing more people. There are more get-togethers. There's more families and friends coming together. Hopefully people are being as cautionary as they can. I'm curious with kids in school, like if we're going to have a rush of kids being quarantined. And I know that is even more so than maybe cases, because I don't think people are getting cases necessarily, but it's those quarantines, and someone else gets sick, and then all of a sudden you have a whole slew of kids that are at home. And I think that's more of a concern going forward. My fear is still more on come February and the postseason and how these coaches are going to handle that. I mean, yeah, it stinks to not maybe be able to wrestle for a week or two in the middle of the season, but you want everybody to be able to compete come district time, come regions, come the state tournament. And, we have vaccines being spread around. It's not as fast as some people would like. And certainly it takes a process. I've been told late summer by a time where it really starts to have an effect, but it is having some effect out there. So to me, that's the juggling act, is how we come out of this holiday, because everything spiked after Thanksgiving, spiked after Halloween, and then keeping these kids able to be on the mat when it really counts, and that's February into March, and that's when you want to make sure.
I feel like there's a better way than just saying nobody can do anything, right?
I mean, these are the rules they came up with. People who are more into this than I am, and seemingly are more of an expert than I am on it. And so, yeah, to take it to college football, the Big Ten gets a lot of heat, rightfully so, in some things, because they've been changing their rules and protocols, because they came back with really strict protocols and ended up nearly costing Ohio State a chance to be in a title game. And so they changed things. And I think what we're seeing is people are just trying to come up with what protocols you need. And hopefully those change as the CDC guidelines change to where, quarantines aren't as long. They don't need to be as long now. Schools are making us up as they go. And we've certainly seen it with our kids. I've had 2 kids quarantine out of my 5 so far, because someone next to them, had tested positive. Neither of them ended up with, we took them both to be tested multiple times, and neither of them ended up having it. But it's just, everybody's just trying to manage through it. And I feel for the coaches, it's not something they're necessarily used to doing, but hopefully they can figure out ways to keep these guys healthy when it matters and out on the mat when it matters.
Yep. I almost dropped you trying to show
off
everybody. I mean, if you look here, we've got those, these, can you see them? I'm trying to look from up.
Yeah, no, definitely.
These things are amazing. So to the kids out there that win this, your photo is going to be taken and it's going to be put on there with your weight class and all the stuff you need. You can see here, if anybody's been here for states, the facility. I mean, look how unbelievable it is.
But I do believe they also have an elevated mat. So that'll be a little different than from the state tournament. And I've not seen that.
We'll have an elevated mat in the center here.
Yeah.
You can see all the mats. Sorry, guys, if I'm making you dizzy.
I need to take a Dramamine.
Brought in right now. You can see Mr. Price. That fucking guy works his ass off. I've been here for like whatever, and he never stops. So thanks to him for him and his people for doing what they do to get these tournaments going on. You'll have CE here. They'll be here with gear and the sponsor. Obviously, you've seen the awards. The girls going to one day, right? Did we announce that?
I guess we haven't even mentioned that. Southern Belle, as of today, it was announced this morning, is a one-day event. It'll just be on Monday. So any girls that were maybe apprehensive about coming up with lodging or travel, that is now a one-day event, and so they should get in on that. I'm upset because I won't get to watch it. I was hoping it would play over into the second day and I could see them, but the Southern Belle will be just a one-day part of the tournament along with middle school on Monday.
Like you said, a raised mat, girls to one day. Mr. Price there working his ass off like usual, and his team, and everybody's doing great. We're going to be here. The show will be here. Brant and I will be here Tuesday, but definitely a great facility. You don't have to worry about social distancing. There's 12,000 seats, only up to 3,000 people will be in here. You guys went through everything tonight. I'll have Southeast Wrestle on.
And that guy knows the knockout. He is prepared. He's going to be even more prepared than I could ever dream of being for that show. I'll be watching. I'll put it on while I'm watching UCF.
Yeah, I got I saw a list I got a sneak preview of the list of the girls. There's man, I wish more girls were coming, tell you the truth. I mean, girls wrestling, people are asking for it and it's getting provided. So I'd love to see a bigger showing, but there are a lot of good girls. I've only gone through the first, I think I've gone up to into the 120s right now, and every number one seed in Florida, just about except for two, I think right now, one or two is going to be here. So we're going to see all those girls here. But any other girls, man, come on, get out here. Let's wrestle. Let's have some fun. Put this on and grow this thing. So, but thanks, Brant, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hopefully Ohio State is better than a 12 seed against Clemson.
I think so. They got a little bit to finish off from last year.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Clemson's going to stack that line for that big boy.
I just excuse me, just as with wrestling, I'm just happy they're playing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Gators, man, so close to beating Alabama. I'm definitely not a Gators fan. People have seen my tattoo. You know, I'm all about the Canes. But kudos to them, man, for putting up a hell of a fight there. That was an epic game. So I would have liked to see the Gators. I would have liked to see a rematch. We've seen years past where you see an SEC championship game like that become.
Listen, I mean, that game was heartbreaking. I'm not a Gator fan. But I do twice weekly Gator podcasts. I know more about them than I probably know about any other team in college football, and it was heartbreaking to watch them lose. But you got to beat LSU. You can't, if you want to be part of a national discussion, you don't lose to a third string quarterback that has never played, has never started, and 46 scholarship players. And that is more of a stain on Florida's season than losing Alabama. Well, it wasn't just because of the shoe. I mean, you played a shell of a team and let them stay in it. The shoe was one of the things, but not being able to get off the field on defense on third down was more important than the shoe in that one. But I mean, that was a great game, and really kudos to Florida for.
Right? I mean, these Florida teams, they're all great, and then there's always that one team that you never expected, and you're like, damn, where'd that come from, right?
Kyle Trask, to me, he's my Heisman winner this year. He won't win it, but just his story and his performance was the best I've seen this year. Awesome. So you came for the wrestling. You got to hear some college football talk too. It's like both of my worlds colliding on this show.
Yeah, and if Orlando Sentinel has 2 extra tickets to the Canes game, just throw them my way. My kid and I, I'll be at the knockout, but I'd probably leave early if I got to go to that. But big Canes.
I don't even know how many tickets are even selling for that game. I saw whatever the last time Miami was there. I think I went to second to last when they played West Virginia. I actually went to that one.
I was at the Gator game last year, but hey, listen, kudos to all the Florida wrestlers and all the Florida coaches. Thank you so much for supporting myself and Brant and all of wrestling. And I hope everybody has a tremendous holiday. Stay safe. Enjoy the family as much as you can. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Come out to the knockout. Even if you're not wrestling, come out and watch it if you can.
It's going to be great. Knockout, Southern Bell, middle school. It'll be on.
And if you want to send me that girls list, then let me peek at it too.
Yes. Maybe. I believe Miss Haas is opening it up tonight after at a certain time once the prices change and stuff. But I do have it, and I'll maybe share it with you.
Thanks.
Miss Haas, that's okay, right? Text me, tell me no.
And happy holidays, everybody. Have a safe and happy holiday, and we'll keep this going afterwards.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. Sorry we didn't have more for this week. Obviously, some disasters, and we feel for those kids, especially the seniors, that we're going to get one more shot at this big knockout tournament here. And we're sorry for that. And I hope that those guys in Polk and Pinellas continue to fight that fight to get you guys back on the mat. So look forward to seeing you after the holiday.